you mentioned the recent bomb scares. That those were happening around the country. A pretty remarkable set of circumstances. I wondered if you could talk a little bit more about some of those other harrowing moments that you referenced, especially for you personally.
Yeah, it's I'm the first. This is the first office I've ever held. I never ran for anything else. Previously, I practiced law in Kentucky, and so I've been around in politics a long time, but I hadn't actually been in the position myself. And it was quite a transition to go from being just a regular, almost anonymous kind of guy who could go to the grocery or the drugstore or to church or anywhere and just kind of be a regular person, and then suddenly, just months later, I'm a flashpoint for very emotional people who believe things that aren't true and want to come up to me and make sure that I know about it and hold me accountable. That's been weird for me to have trouble going to the grocery or the drugstore or other places and have to build in time for people to come up and challenge me. It's been really hard on my family. My daughter had to take our campaign bumper sticker off her car. My wife did the same thing. They would get confronted sometimes, and so that's been pretty tough. COVID, especially going into 2020, we had a lot of demonstrations here at the state capitol. They were aimed primarily at our Democratic governor, who was perceived as going too far in forcing closures and so forth. But some of those same people who were toting semi-automatic rifles and so forth, they'd circulate over to the governor's press room, those windows outside that press room, and make demonstrations, toting their weapons. Then they come around to my office. They didn't like what I was doing either with respect to making sure we could vote safely in a pandemic, expanding access, making absentee voting easier, having more voting days, and so forth. And so it was quite a transition for me to go from being a total nobody to suddenly there's people with machine guns outside my office.